Hi, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good day. Today I'm doing a tarot reading on Elton John. He was born March 25th, 1947. He is 79. He's been married twice. He's a British singer and songwriter. His original name, he was born in Pioneer, United Kingdom. He's been married twice. He has three children, adult children, I think, and I think they're all boys. And he has eye problems. I think he's going blind. So I'm going to do a tarot reading on Elton John because I love Elton John. I think he was a totally awesome guy. So I'm going to look up, how was his childhood? Did he have a pretty good childhood in England with his parents? Did he have a good childhood with his parents? So tell me, did he have a good childhood with his parents? Did he have a good childhood with his parents? It says that least limits beliefs. I guess his family have religious beliefs. They were kind of religious people, and he was freedom, restoring control. He likes to be in control, and his family wanted him to be a lack of control. His family and their resentment, I guess he wanted to do his own thing and they resented him for it. So they kind of resented him doing his own thing a little bit, like wanted to do music or so. He's a very courage person. You know, he doesn't take crap from anyone, Elton John. He's a nice person, but he doesn't take anybody, and he's passionate about his life when he was growing up. He probably always liked music. I'll look at that next question. And he's a very compassionate person. You know, he gives to charity, AIDS and everything when he got older. Lack of faith. He's not a real religious person in the sense of, you know, he's more spiritual. He's not, you know, really religious. He lost that. And he trusts himself before he trusts any analyzed religion. But he loved his family, even though he had some problems with his family growing up. He still loved his family, and he totally loved them and cared about his family as much as he could, even though he had a bad relationship with his parents. He tried to love them as best as he could. Was he always, I'm going to ask, was he always into music growing up? Did he always like to, you know, sing? You know, because I saw the movie Rocket Man. His parents were terrible, especially his father. So was he always interested in music? Was he always, Elton John, can you tell me if you always was into music, rock and roll, pop? Please tell me. Was he always interested in music, even growing up? Oh. Wow, interesting cards. He thought it was being dishonest because he wanted to have a normal job. I think he liked music, but he wasn't sure if this would be his, you know, what he really wanted to do out of life. He wasn't sure if that's what he wanted to do, like an ability, because he wanted to make money, but he wasn't sure if music was the thing he wanted to do. If he would rather been a lawyer or a doctor, he wasn't sure what he wanted to do, and he was abused by his father and was not treated well by his father. He was abusive by his father and people in his life. So he was abused. And there was negative. People were negative and dishonest with him. His people, when he wanted to finally make music, people kind of used him and they were dishonest with him when he finally decided to music. He tried to forgive people who were dishonest to him while he was trying to figure out what he wanted to do his life. He tried to forgive people for being abusive. It says abusive. He tried to forgive people for being abusive, like his father or boyfriends or girlfriends or friends. He tried to forgive them, and he was trying to find peace. He really tried to be spiritual, find peace. And he tried to find success with music. He decided, what the hell, I'm going to go for it and be into music. So yeah, he wanted harmony. He wanted to make music, be famous. He thought it would fulfill his life, you know, his dreams of being a musician and songwriter. And he wanted to be in control. He wanted to do his own destiny of being a songwriter and be a musician. He didn't want other people to tell him how to make his music. He wanted to do it. But they were blocked. You know, some people said, you have to do it this way, Elton, or you're not going to turn out well. You're not going to do a good job. People were kind of abusive in saying that you have to do it this way or things are going to turn out sour. He thought of giving people second chances. He's a second chance person. If you use him, he sometimes does give people second chances. And he did give second chance about him being into music. So he did give himself a second chance. But he had addictions to drugs and alcohol when in his 20s. He was in that scene of drugs from the 60s and 70s and 80s. So he did do drugs and alcohol and had to break the habit. So he did have addictions, you know, make bad decisions doing drugs and alcohol and, you know, the party scene. And he was depressed. Maybe he thought of suicide, Elton, entertainment purposes. So he was depressed, you know. He probably had to go on depression medicine when he got older. And he thought of someone looking out for him. Maybe he had a dead family member that was looking out for him. You know, he thought that maybe his aunt or his grandparent or someone he loved and cared about is watching his back, even though he's not religious, he's spiritual. He thinks someone is looking out for him and preventing harm for him because he was on drugs and alcohol. So he probably had a dead relative or family member or a friend who passed away who he thinks is watching out for him. So, which is good if you believe in that. Also, yeah, I'm gonna ask two more. So yeah, he was into, oh boy, shadow self, attachment, addiction. Like I said, he was addicted to alcohol and drugs when he was started to do music. Later he got into drugs and alcohol, so he had to be careful. And he was also in toxic relationships too with people. You know, they weren't looking out for the best for Elton. And I'll do one more card. But he's courage. He's, you know, he beat the drugs, beat the alcohol, beat the people who treated him like crap. So he left the drug. He went to rehab in the, I think 80s or the 90s or the 80s, and he said enough is enough. I don't want to do drugs anymore and alcohol. So he went to rehab and got himself sober. So yeah, he did drugs, a lot of drugs, but he recovered from it. And he wanted to be in music. I'm going to ask, I saw him with Princess Di. Were they really good friends? Was he good friends with Princess Di, Elton? Was he really good friends with Elton? Was he really good friends with Princess Di? You know, because you see them with the picture taken. Were they really good friends, Elton, with Princess Diana when she was alive? Did he really love her and, you know, care about her and think she was, you know, a wonderful person? Did he, Elton, loved her. Did they have good karma together? That's how I'll look at it. Because I always loved Princess Diana. She had her faults, like we all do. So does Elton. No one's perfect like that. Yep. Cards. I ended up. Don't go breaking my heart. Yep, I love his music. All right, let's see. All right, what does it say? It says that he tried to restrain being around her because he was afraid that she was a royal family and some people might not like them to have a relationship. So he tried to stay away. He tried to stay away and slow changes. He knew that something was going to happen to her. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's what it says, changed to death. So I think he knew that her life was in jeopardy. I think, I'm going to look that up after this. I think Elton John knew that Princess Di's life was in danger. That's what it says, cheating death. He was cheating death, and he knew that she cheated death numerous times, and her life was in danger. So he stayed away because he knew that her life was in danger. But they supported each other. He loved her and respected her and thought she was great doing charity work with AIDS and children and all the things that she did charity work. So he really supported her and loved her. They were like friends. He made her happy. They made each other happy. They joked around and had a good time. Didn't take they were too serious. But there was opportunities to make money. When they were, together taking photos and stuff. So there were opportunities in new beginnings. I think he was trying to have a better relationship before he died. Maybe they didn't get to see each other as much as he wanted to. So he wanted to start rebuilding the relationship better. Misfortune. He knew that something was bad going to happen to Diana, like I said. Cheating death. He cheated death because of the drugs and alcohol and bad things happen. And he thought there was problems in the relationship. Maybe they had a falling out a couple times, but he wanted to get back together and start a new beginning. And there were setbacks in the relationship before she passed away, and he felt bad for that. So yeah, I wonder, I'm going to ask, did he think she was going to be killed? Did he think Princess Diana was going to be killed, Elton? Because I got a feeling he did. Because he says cheating death. He cheated death and her life was in danger, and he didn't spend as much time with her as he wanted to because someone was out to get her. So that's what the cards say to me. Did he knew that her life was in danger, Princess Diana? Was he worried about her safety? Like someone was out to get Princess Diana, which is interesting. And like I said, entertainment purposes. All right. Did he know that? Yeah, he knew that her life was in danger, Elton. There were delays. Because he wanted to be friends with her, but the inner circle of the royal family sometimes don't want to be with a superstar. I think they had problems, and there were delay and few options. She wanted to have a real relationship with Elton John, and he wanted one with her. But I think the royal family, some of it, they didn't like that. Like the old people. Like I don't think Charles could care one way or another. I think his mother or some other people cared about them having a relationship, and they were fear of the he was a fear of the unknown because he was worried about her safety, like she might be taken out, or killed, die, closed, involvement. There were delays in the relationship. He wanted to be more friends with her, like I said, but they had busy time schedule. He would do music, concerts and all over the world, and she had to be with the royal family and do duties. So I didn't see as much as he wanted to. He wanted to see more of her, but there were delays because they both were very busy schedules and life. Even after she got divorced, he's busy, she's busy. They don't really have enough time to see each other. Unwilling efforts, fear of sacrifice. They were fear of sacrificing his career, spending more time with her. He wanted wisdom to get to know her because he thought he could learn a lot from Princess Di. Elton thought he could, but he was withdrawn, and he tried to have patience with her because he couldn't see her as much as he wanted to because, like I said, they both were very busy people. In the 80s and 90s, they both were very busy. So, and he wanted to also have his own space. He didn't want to always have the paparazzi seeing them when they're together, getting the photos taken together with Princess Di, with Elton John. He got tired of that. He wanted to, just hang out with the two of them or whatever, and that's it. He didn't want, he wanted to be alone too. He got tired of all people, the cameras and all that. So he wanted to be left alone, and he struggled with it. And they had a great relationship. It doesn't have to mean lovers in the sense. It was like they were great friends. They had a great relationship. He was worried about her. And they had a positive relationship toward the end of her life. I think if they had struggles, I think they got him resolved before she died, which is a good thing. So, but it does say that he was worried that someone was, that something was going to happen to her. Let me look at the article deck. Yeah, let's do 4 cards for that. All right. He thought mutual respect. He respected Princess Di and their relationship as much as they could of seeing each other because they both were very busy. And they were close as you can be for a royal family and a singer, and he thought she made some bad choices in her life, with Charles and his life, and there were mixed signals. Maybe he wanted to spend more time with her, but she didn't have the time because she had to raise the boys at that time and be with them. So and games, maybe he thought she was making some games, like, come on, let's be serious, you can't and she made, like I said, she made bad choices with Charles and the royal family. He thought she made bad choices with the royal family. And he tried to apologize to her and say, "I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be too hard on you, Diana." And he thought he could be arrogant, and he tried to apologize to her. He didn't want any friction with her before she passed. He knew that somebody in the royal family was abusive. This is what it says. Entertainment purposes. There was abusive. There's a psychopath in the family. He thought she better watch out. There's someone nasty in the family, and unpredictable, abusive. Someone could be nasty and cruel to her and in the family. So yeah, he was worried about her safety. He was worried about someone in the inner circle. All right. So he was married. So we know he's gay. I'm gonna just ask one question. He's definitely gay. I'm going to look that up. Yep. It says that he can be moody at times, and he doesn't really want to talk about him being gay. and he's disappointed people judge him for if he's gay. It doesn't say if he isn't gay. It says no, but um, uh, he can be moody and disappointed in the way people care too much about his sexual orientation. He doesn't really give what people think of him, so and existent to change. He doesn't want to change his lifestyle. He likes to be gay. It says no, but he likes to be who he is, and he doesn't care what people think. And he's holding on to what he is, and he doesn't care what people think. He doesn't care. He's holding on. He doesn't care what people think. He's fearful to change. He doesn't want to change his lifestyle. He wants to be at his, when in the 90s, he figured out what it was, his lifestyle, and he didn't want to change for anybody. He said, tough luck for you. You don't like it? Too bad. And he wants to make, he might have had some friends who disconnected from him because they found out he was gay and they didn't want to deal with him. Some people said, oh, stay away from me because I don't like people who are. That's what it says. And he doesn't care. He has money. He doesn't care. Fine, I'll leave you in the dust on the road. So he doesn't really care. So it doesn't say, it says no, but he doesn't care what people think of his sexual orientation. He doesn't care. He's past that time. I'm going to ask his health. I saw some videos. Is his health really deteriorating? Because he's getting eye problems and stuff. Is his health deteriorating? Is Elton John's health deteriorating? Because he had to have eye surgery and stuff. Is his health deteriorating? Because he's up there, I think he's 78 or 79, I'm not sure. So is his health deteriorating? I'm just doing my regular cards. I'm not going to do any oracle cards on this. Yeah, his health is deteriorating. Right. He has to make decisions. He had to do eye surgery. He had to take care of himself. You know, he had to have so many surgeries about his eyes, his hips, his health, Elton. And he had to quit. You know, I saw a thing on YouTube that he's not doing any more concerts. So he just make decisions that he's not going to do any more concerts because of his health. Like I said, in the past, he's been in drugs and alcohol, and maybe that attribute to his health problems in the present is in the past because he got rid of being on drugs and alcohol. So maybe some of it caught up with him. I don't know because I'm not a doctor, but I'm saying that sometimes it says he had addictions to alcohol and drugs and stuff in the past. So that might have happened. And he feels people betrayed him. Like some people didn't stick by him when he was having trouble with drugs and alcohol. He felt like he was being betrayed. Like, you didn't stand by me. He felt betrayed, you know, maybe his family. But he has skills, you know, he can still play the piano at his own home in England and do other things. Maybe does drawing or other things he can do that he doesn't have to take too much effort. Or maybe not drawing, maybe he likes to read or do something with his spouse. And he's into, and he's a very confident person. He about his music and what he does for with his grown kids and family. And progress. He's going to look forward to see what's going to happen in the future with his life. And he's very confident in himself. All right, and 3 more cards. Weak. He's getting weak. His health is getting weaker. You know, when you're 78, a lot of people don't make it. And he's sick. Abuse of power. He has some abuse of power. Like, sometimes the power goes to his head. But he's feeling sick and he has raw emotions. I think he's feeling weak because of all the, because of the medicine he's taking. It probably makes him tired. And, he's a caring person. He cares about giving money to charity. He's always been caring and giving to charity and helping other people who are less fortunate. And he's stable and he's a kind person. In the most part, he's a very kind person. And 1 more card. He's planning ahead for his grown kids, about their future and grandkids if they have kids. So he's going to planning to give money to them. When he passes, maybe I'll have a will made up and to give to his kids and grandkids and the people in his life and charities and everything. So that's it. I'm going to ask, is there anything else you want to tell me, Elton John, before this end of this reading? Good girl. That's Michaela, my dog. Is there anything else you want to tell me, Elton, besides your health is getting worse? Oh boy. Oh, he's gonna be in some debt. He's gonna have some money problems. He fall from grace. He's gonna fall from grace. I think somebody might have something on him and find he's gonna be falling. He's gonna lose some money because of his health. Maybe he made bad decisions, investments. So somebody's gonna hold it against him. And he's gonna lose some money. And he had some poor planning. Maybe he needs someone to help him because of his health. Maybe his husband and the kids are going to have to help him because he's making poor planning. He doesn't make the best decisions, because of his bad health. And it's delays because of his health. His health is getting worse. So in the delays, waste, chaos. His health is getting worse. His money's I think he's losing some money. He like I said, poor planning of money. He's having trouble with money. He's having some money problems. He's a very education person. He's very smart. When it came to music, he knew what to do and how to become a great entertainer. And he's a perfectionist when it came to playing music. I'm going to ask one question. I hate to ask this. Is he going to pass away in 2027? I hate to ask that, but I'm going to do it. I don't like to ask, but because I like Elton John. Is he going to pass away in 2027? I hope not, because I like Elton John. It's just he looks very frail and very bad off. Is he going to pass away in 2027, or is he going to survive another couple years? Is he going to pass away, Elton John, in 2027? Because his health looks like it's deteriorating, the way he walks and stuff. Hopefully not, and I'll also do that. Well, it doesn't say, it says try one more time. He's going to try one more time to stick around in 2026 to 2027. He's going to try. His fear of change. I think he's fearful of change. Like his health is going to get worse, and he's fearful that he would have to have somebody rely, like have people come and help him. Like nurses and doctors, him going to them. And fear of loss. Maybe he's fearful that he won't be able to walk anymore. He would have to use a wheelchair, have bad health. He's going to work hard to keep his body moving as long as he can. And he wants to respect. He wants people to respect him, even though he's in bad shape. I feel like he knows that his health is getting worse. He can be ruthless, impulsive, and he makes hasty decisions sometimes. Sometimes he acts without, doing stuff, so he has to be careful when you get older, getting up and falling. So, yeah. All opportunities, wish and thinking, choices. He's hoping choices will get better. His choices in the future will get better. It doesn't say. I'm going to ask, is he going to have a fall? I hate to ask that. Is he going to fall? Because it says he's having bad choices and stuff, and bad things are going to happen. So is he going to fall? I hate to ask that, but Is he going to fall? Because it didn't say that he was going to pass away, just said his health's getting worse. All right, is he going to fall, Elton John, in 2026 to 2027? Is he going to have a bad fall? Yeah, he's going to have a bad fall. Holding back. He's going to hold back. He doesn't want to tell people that he fell and had a bad fall. He doesn't want people to know his health is deteriorating. And he's going to, fearless. He's going to make bad choices like, oh, I'm not going to tell people. He might not go to the doctor as much as he needs to. So it's going to be bad choices. There's going to be heartbreak. His health is getting worse. There's going to be heartbreak. He's going to get some bad news about his health. He's going to grieve because he knows he's going to be depressed. He's going to get depressed. Maybe he's on depression medicine because he's depressed because he knows his health is deteriorating in his eyesight. And, it says his marriage might end up in divorce. Might. It might. Not necessarily it's going to, but he'll have emotional pain because, if you get and you're old and you have health problems, you're in pain all the time, you have to take medicine to keep the pain from, especially if you had surgeries on your knees and your legs and your eyes are in bad shape. He's trying to think positive on the foresight. He's trying to think of opportunities. Maybe he'll go cross country and try to find medical alternatives for his health. Maybe he'll go cross country and find opportunities to have medical help that will make him feel a little bit better in his old age. Movement. He's trying to be in control of his life. He doesn't like his body, falling apart on him and not being in control. He wants to be in control of his life, even though he knows his life is deteriorating. And departure. Maybe there is in the future. He's going to depart this world. I'm going to look 3 cards. Depart. It says depart is depart. He wants harmony and truth before he leaves the earth plane, and he wants balance. He doesn't want people to feel sorry for him when it's his time. He wants his family to come together before he passes away and dies. Elton John, he wants them to celebrate his life, not his death. There's going to be chaos, though, but before his death, a lot of people will want to get his money, and and he knows he's weak, and there's going to be some destruction because people will try to go after his money after he passes away. When he has missed opportunity, and he has missed opportunities, what he could have done before he passed away. Maybe he could have traveled more for pleasure than work, for his concert. I think he's going to miss out on a lot of things. I'll do one more. There's going to be delays on how long he can stay alive for, and like I said, he regrets not being able to travel for more, being with his kids more when they were growing up, always being on the road, and his failure, lack of foresight. He didn't have foresight that his health was going to be worse. He didn't have foresight his health was getting worse. So he didn't have foresight, his health. So, yep, his health is getting worse. It doesn't say that he's going to die in 2027. Maybe I'll do a video in the future of Elton John because I like Elton John. Until my next video, take care and bye.